This training video is brought to you by K-Alliance. K-Alliance provides high-quality instructor-led training videos for desktop, IT, and soft skills. Visit us online at www.kalliance.com to sign up for your free 7-day trial. Be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching, and we hope you learned something new. Real learning, real videos, real success.
In this demo, we're going to be looking at backing up our database. And we'll be looking at doing it two different ways. First off, through the GUI, and then also through our T-SQL. So we'll go ahead and jump into our Management Studio. Once you're in Management Studio, and you want to use the GUI to back up the database, we'll be working with our AdventureWorks 2012 on this one. You can right-click on it, and then you can go into your Tasks. And under your Tasks, you have the ability to do a backup. Now this brings up our backup dialog. Your backup dialog has a lot of different options that are very useful when we're trying to figure out our backup process. So you'll notice it identifies the database that we're working with. It gives us the recovery model that database is currently in. It gives us an option for what kind of backup we want to do, full or differential. And again, your options here are going to depend on what your recovery model is. If we want to do a copy-only backup, we also have the ability to set up where we want that backup to live. So we have our backup set. And our backup set's got its name, its description. Do we want to set an expiration date for it? And where is it going to physically live? Now we're going to go ahead and remove this existing one, which is down inside of the default SQL Server backup locations, and we're going to put it in our own location. So I'll remove that backup destination and add in a new one. Our new backup destination is going to be in our D drive. So I'll collapse that down. We'll go to our D drive, and we'll go to our MS SQL Server folder. And we have to give it the name of the backup, and we'll call it, let's go with AdventureWorks 2012. AdventureWorks 2012, that looks good. All right, so when we're ready, we go ahead and hit OK. It's now filled in that destination, and we're ready to go as far as our basic settings. Now there are other settings available to us. If I go under my options, I can see that I have the ability to overwrite the existing media, and my choices there are I can append it to the existing backup set, or I can overwrite the existing set. I also have some additional options for backing up to a new media set if I want to do that instead. I can do reliability checks, I can set my log behaviors, a lot of different options that we can play with. Additionally, once I've got all of my choices in place, I can also create the script of what I was about to do. So I don't actually have to run it from here. If you want to see the script with all of your options selected, I can script the action to a new query window. And we see that it's written it out for us in detail here. So I've got my backup database, AdventureWorks 2012, to the disk at that location, with no format, no init. The name of what I'm doing here is the AdventureWorks 2012 full database backup. That's its default naming. So it put all of that information into a single SQL statement that I could utilize. Or I can go back and work within my environment and do the backup directly from my GUI here. So real quick, I just realized I wanted to change the name of that to ADV instead. So we'll reset that in our SQL Server location as adv.back. There we go. That way it matches the rest of our work. So I've now got my adv.back in my MS SQL Server folder with all of my default settings, and I hit OK. Once it generates that backup file, we'll be able to look in the file system and see that it is in fact in place, and you can see that it is working its way through. So we hit OK. We go to our file system, and we're going to expand out and jump to our MS SQL Server folder, and there it is. So from there, we're now able to look at how we can continue to manipulate our backups from T-SQL. So if I were to come right back in and run a backup database, AdventureWorks 2012, directly to the disk with the same name and no other settings. So let's go ahead and run that. It performs the backup. Should take it 4 to 6 seconds, give or take a bit. Depends on how big the database is and how much data it's trying to compress. So there we go, took a little longer. Now we've got it backed up again. If I look at my environment, so if I come under my Windows Explorer, we're going to see that we have that file still here with a size of 389 megabytes. So from there, we know that it did do the backup. We know that it wrote to the same location. If I were to come in and look at the properties of my backup, so I'll go in here and I'll go back into the backup window. All that information is still the same, so we haven't lost anything. When you go back and forth between the two, it's merely appending to that additional file as a default behavior. Now, if I were to come in and run this with a with init, it's going to get smaller, and the reason is because it's no longer appending. You see, in that previous one, we actually have two backups. We have the original one plus the second one that I ran in my T-SQL. So now when I run it with the with init, which is with initialization, that's going to tell us that it should overwrite the existing file. So it'll still take approximately the same time to create it, but once it's created it, it no longer has to maintain the old information as a part of that process. So we see now that it's dropped down to 194 megabytes. So that's one thing that you need to know. As you append, it will get bigger and bigger and bigger. If you do the with init, it'll overwrite it and that'll keep your size smaller, but you won't be able to backtrack to previous backups. Additionally, if I come in and I run the backup with my init, but this time with compression, so we can see how that changes our environment. So we'll back it up again, but this time with compression. And you notice, oh wait, we got an error. And this is a common thing. You cannot take a backup that is already non-compressed and then add a compressed one to it. It's an incompatible process. It has to reformat this backup device based on compression. So if we run that same command again, simply adding in the format command, now it's happy. So again, remember, if you want to change from non-compressed to compressed, you need to make sure to add the with format the first time you make that switch over. As a result, we're down to 45 megabytes. And finally, if you want it to always use compression, you can change your default compression behaviors using your SP configure with backup compression default set to 1, and then reconfigure. This ensures that any new database backups that are run will run as compressed. So with that, hopefully you have a little better understanding of how we implement our backups.
We hope you enjoyed this preview video. Please click on the like button below if you did, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Be sure to visit us at www.kalliance.com to sign up for your free 7-day trial today. You could learn a lot in a week.